Let's now talk about wet active matter, which now brings the medium into play. So what is wet active matter, and then how does it work?
Self-propulsion in a fluid medium is what we call wet active matter. So if you've got microorganisms in a fluid, or if you've got those filaments and motors that I told you about inside a cell, and there's fluid because the interior of a fluid is a fluid medium. So in all these cases, you've got little objects, each of which is disturbing the medium in some way, okay? And the way it disturbs the medium is best captured by the two simplest kinds of self-propelled organisms, bacteria and algae. A bacterium moves through a fluid by pushing the fluid back with its tail, and its body moves forward. Simple algae have two filaments sticking out of their front, and they pull the fluid back from their front and they move
like forward. A breaststroke.
A little bit like a breaststroke. Okay. One of them is more like just kicking and swimming, and the other is like breaststroke. The detailed physics of breaststroke, kicking and swimming versus algae, bacteria is a little different because you know that when you swim, with one stroke, you move many body lengths. When a bacterium, if you look at any microorganism swimming, you'll see that the appendages that allow it to move are in incessant motion. If you kill a bacterium, the distance it moves before, the fraction of its length it will move before it stops is like a millionth or one. So the big difference between small, slow things and big, fast things is this quantity. At a given speed, if you switch off your machinery, what fraction of your length will you coast before you stop? Us, it's a big fraction, it's order 1 or more. For bacterium, it's like a millionth. And that's it's the same equations, different terms in those same equations are important.
Oh, very interesting.
It's the equations of fluid dynamics. There's only one set. And so wet active. So the idea then is, supposing you had a collection of objects that were lined up and moving through a viscous fluid. And supposing they were in the regime defined by bacteria, the regime in which their speed and their length and the viscosity of the surrounding medium is such that their inertia of motion can be totally forgotten. Their motion has to be thought of as they are trying to swim and viscosity is stopping them. Okay? Whereas when we swim, it's really, as I said, you kick off from the wall and you swim, halfway across the pool. Right? So two different regimes. In the regime corresponding to bacteria, what happens is if you have an aligned state and you disturb it slightly, you can then ask, okay, you had all these stresses that the swimmers had in the original perfectly aligned state. Everything was completely balanced. Now in this slightly distorted state, the stresses are not balanced among each other. They will set up flows. Those flows will reorient their alignment. It turns out, in the case, whether it's a flock of bacteria or a flock of algae, in both cases, there's always a class of disturbances which, if you put them in, grow. So you disturb, the disturbed state has unbalanced stresses. Those stresses give rise to flow. Those flows further disturb the aligned state. You can say, do they bring it back or do they push it further? Turns out they always push it further in the direction in which you push them. So they contain, to quote a famous political philosopher that nobody talks about anymore, they contain the seeds of their own destruction. You can Google that. Okay. And aligned states of slow, small swimmers are always unstable. So a collection of bacteria trying to swim through a fluid on macroscopic scales simply will always necessarily and inexorably disrupt itself. And it'll it'll evolve into a state which has come to be known as active turbulence or bacterial turbulence. And our work really nearly 25 years ago predicted this instability of aligned states. From minimal, we don't know anything about bacteria. We know how to write down fluid dynamics. We know that a swimmer plus fluid, when you and a fluid are together and you're swimming, that combined system, the total force on that is zero because you are doing something to the fluid is doing something back to you. Nobody's putting an external force on you plus the fluid. Therefore, it's a force-free system. So the arrangement of forces is such that it all adds up to zero, but they're distributed in such a way that you swim. But those swimming states are always unstable.
Already in comparison to dry active matter, now the medium is playing such a more important role. In a way, there's a transactional relationship. Your movement affects the medium, then the medium moves and that affects other particles as well.